Muhammad was born in 570 AD, lived till about 632 AD. So obviously he never met Jesus. He insisted that Jesus never claimed to be God. Sorry, the eyewitnesses who saw Jesus, who heard Jesus, clearly wrote he claimed to be God. Now who am I going to trust? Am I going to trust a guy who was born 570 years after the fact, who obviously never met Jesus? Or am I going to trust the eyewitnesses? Well, that's a no-brainer.
Did Jesus claim to be God? It's a massive question. So let's dive right into the historical evidence. It's a core belief for billions, right? But what the earliest texts say might surprise you. See, our sources were written decades after Jesus died, and as you'll see, timing is everything. Scholars basically group the sources into two camps, a bunch of early ones and one very late one, John. And here's the kicker. In all those early sources, Jesus never says he's God. But in John, he does. But wait, don't the early Gospels imply it? Let's check out the most popular example. Okay, so the scene is Jesus healing a paralyzed man, and the big assumption is only God forgives sins. But notice Jesus's exact words, not "I am God," but that he has authority on earth. Turns out, this authority was a gift from God, a power he actually shares with his disciples. So the real challenge wasn't about being God, it was about having more authority than the priests. Even Messiah, we think divine, but back then, it just meant a future king or political leader. And that's key. He was killed for being king of the Jews, a political threat, not a religious one. But then, we get to the Gospel of John, and wow, the story completely changes. Here, Jesus says something shocking. Before Abraham was, I am. That sounds like a direct claim to divinity. And I am is a huge deal. It's the name God gives to Moses in the Old Testament. And you know they got the message because they immediately tried to stone him for it. So, which is it? The early Gospels or the last one? How do historians figure this out? Well, it comes down to something called the argument from silence. Basically, why leave it out? Think about it. Claiming to be God is kind of a big deal. Would 6 authors just forget to mention it? Because of this, most historians conclude that the historical Jesus probably didn't make that claim himself. Instead, it looks more like a belief that grew and evolved over decades inside the early church. Which really makes you wonder, how do our beliefs about major historical figures change over time?